Kick-ass facts. Who knew there were this many curses? Pew, 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 pew. The Curse of Frank Sinatra's My Way. This one is highly specific. You have to be singing Sinatra's My Way at karaoke in the Philippines. I think most of us are okay. At least 6 people, however, are not okay. They have been killed while singing it in karaoke over the last 10 years. It would be crazy if these people had died under supernatural causes. However, they didn't. They were all murdered. In one case, a 29-year-old was shot dead by a security guard because he thought the guy was off key. That's why I don't do karaoke. In another story, the friend of one singer overheard the people at the next table commenting on how shitty he was, so the friend stood up and drew his gun. I mean, supportive friend, but misguided, to say the least. James Dean and the Curse of the Little Bastard. On September 30th, 1955, James Dean was killed when the silver Porsche 550 Spider he was driving, that he called the Little Bastard, was struck by an oncoming vehicle. Within about a year of Dean's crash, the car was at least loosely involved in 2 more fatal accidents and 2 other injuries. The better confirmed series of incidents occurred after Hot Rod designer George Barris purchased the car. He started to track this shit. While getting a tune-up, Little Bastard fell on a mechanic's legs and broke them. 2 doctors supposedly purchased the engine and the transmission from the car, one of whom was killed and the other seriously injured in subsequent car accidents, though it hasn't been confirmed that the deaths occurred in cars that contained Little Bastard's parts. Disclaimer. Someone else purchased the tires, which blew up simultaneously, sending the driver to the hospital. From there, reports get a little bit more muddled. We know that Little Bastard's shell disappeared sometime before 1960 while on an exhibition circuit. According to some, a truck carrying it crashed, killing the driver, and Little Bastard was gone by the time the authorities arrived on scene. By other accounts, it was just stolen en route. The Curse of Tutankhamun's Tomb. In 1922, English explorer Howard Carter was leading an expedition when he discovered the tomb of Egyptian king Tutankhamun and all the riches it held. After opening the tomb, however, strange and unpleasant events began to take place in the lives of those involved in the expedition. Some believe that there was a foreboding inscription, "Death comes on wings to he who enters the tomb of a pharaoh," on King Tut's tomb that put a curse on anyone who disturbed his final resting place. The exhibition was funded by George Herbert. He traveled to Cairo and apparently died from pneumonia following complications from a mosquito bite. Allegedly, at the exact moment he passed, all the lights in Cairo went out, and back in England, his dog dropped dead. In addition, several other people involved with the expedition died. 1945, William Billy Goat Sianis bought his pet goat, Murphy, to Wrigley Field to see the 4th game of the 1945 World Series between the Chicago Cubs and the Detroit Tigers. Sianis and his goat were later ejected from the stadium after complaints from fellow fans, and Sianis reportedly put a curse on the team that day. Ever since, the Cubs have had legendary bad luck. Hungary is home to the Curse of Turin, which posits that Hungary and its people have been oppressed by a malevolent spell for centuries. The trouble started over 1,000 years ago, when then despot King Stephen decreed that his people must convert to Christianity. Not all the country's inhabitants met the news with a willing spirit, though. A shaman, believed to have psychic powers because he was born with 6 fingers on one hand, resisted the orders to leave the old religious ways behind. In protest, he placed a 1,000-year curse on all Hungarians. Hopefully it's over now. Finally, the Curse of Tippecanoe. Legend has it that Native American leader Tecumseh cursed William Henry Harrison after he and his troops won the Battle of Tippecanoe. Apologies for mispronunciations. The rumored curse is that every 20 years an American president will die while in office. President Harrison died of pneumonia just 1 month into office. 20 years later, Lincoln was assassinated, and this curse continued until 1980, when Ronald Reagan was shot but survived, supposedly lifting and breaking the curse.